Using a throwaway because Erica knows my name. I, 26F, want to start by explaining my relationship with Erica, 28F. She's my husband Carter's younger sister, and we've been best friends since I was 16. Carter and I started dating in high school, and when he first took me to meet his family, Erica and I clicked instantly. Despite our 2-year age gap, we became inseparable. She was the sister I never had. Throughout high school and college, we did everything together. When Carter was busy with football practice, Erica and I would hang out at the mall or have movie marathons at her house. She was there for all my major life events, my high school graduation, my college acceptance, my first heartbreak when Carter and I briefly broke up during freshman year of college. When Carter and I got married 3 years ago, there was no question about who would be my maid of honor. Erica gave the most beautiful speech at our wedding about gaining a sister instead of losing a brother. Now I'm 31 weeks pregnant with our first baby, a little boy. Erica is also pregnant, about 22 weeks along with her and her fiancé Ben's first baby. Ben is a great guy who we introduced her to at our wedding. He was Carter's college roommate. We were thrilled when they started dating and even more excited when they got engaged last year. Finding out we were both pregnant at the same time felt like another special bond we would share. The current situation started about a month ago. Carter and I were watching childbirth videos on YouTube. I know it sounds silly, but we wanted to educate ourselves about what to expect. We've been taking birthing classes, but sometimes the videos help visualize things better. Erica has a habit of dropping by unannounced. She lives just 10 minutes away, and we've always had an open door policy. When she walked in that day, I quickly paused the video, but she saw what we were watching. Instead of being grossed out like I expected, she insisted on joining us. She said since she was pregnant too, she needed to know what she was in for. Looking back, I should have changed the topic or suggested watching something else. The videos we were watching were quite graphic, real birth videos, not the sanitized educational ones they show in birthing classes. As we watched more videos, I started noticing changes in Erica's behavior. She got really quiet, which is unusual for her as she's normally very chatty. She kept touching her baby bump with this scared look on her face, like she was just realizing what was going to happen to her body. Carter and I were a bit nervous too, but we could see Erica was taking it much harder. Carter tried to lighten the mood by making us his special hot chocolate, the one with extra marshmallows and whipped cream that we used to drink during our high school study sessions. We put on a comedy movie and did our old sandwich cuddle thing where Erica sits between us. It's something we've done since we were teenagers whenever one of us was upset. But even that didn't seem to help much. Over the next few weeks, I noticed Erica was acting differently. She started asking me very specific questions about my pregnancy and birth plan. Was I going to get induced? Had I considered an epidural? Did I worry about tearing? Was the prenatal yoga helping with the back pain? Some questions were so detailed it seemed like she'd been researching extensively about everything that could go wrong during childbirth. Yesterday, we went baby shopping together. We were looking at cribs when she suddenly asked who I was planning to have in the delivery room. I told her it would just be Carter and me. That's when she asked if she could be there too. I was caught off guard and asked her why. She admitted that she's been feeling extremely anxious about giving birth since watching those videos, and thought that seeing me go through it might help her feel less scared about her own delivery. I told her I needed to discuss it with Carter first, but honestly, I already knew my answer was no, and I knew Carter would agree. The only person I might have considered having there besides Carter would have been my mom, but she passed away from breast cancer 5 years ago. While I love my mother-in-law and Erica dearly, giving birth is going to be an incredibly vulnerable moment for me. I know I'll be in pain, probably crying, maybe screaming, possibly pooping myself, and I just wouldn't feel comfortable having anyone but Carter see me like that. The thing is, Erica has always been sensitive about medical stuff. When we were in high school, she had a bad experience getting her wisdom teeth removed. She had a panic attack in the dentist's chair and Carter and I had to skip school to be there and hold her hands through the whole procedure. Even now, she gets anxious about routine doctor visits. She's gotten better over the years, but I can see that same fear returning now that she's facing childbirth. Ben texted me earlier today asking if I'd made a decision. Apparently, Erica's been talking about nothing else since our shopping trip. He mentioned that she's been having trouble sleeping because she's so worried about giving birth. He understands my hesitation but hoped I might reconsider since it would mean so much to her. I want to support Erica through her pregnancy journey, but I also need to protect my own comfort and privacy during such an intimate moment. I've been racking my brain trying to think of ways to tell her no without making her more anxious about childbirth. Maybe we could find other ways for me to support her. I could share my birth story with her afterward, or we could do some prenatal yoga classes together. I need advice on how to let her down gently without damaging our relationship or making her more scared about her own upcoming delivery. She's not just my sister-in-law, she's my best friend, and I want to handle this in a way that doesn't hurt her or make her more anxious about giving birth. Update 1. Hi everyone, it's been about 3 weeks since my last post, and things have gotten really messy. I wanted to update you all on what happened after I talked to Erica about the delivery room situation. After getting advice from you all, I decided to have an honest conversation with Erica. We usually meet for coffee every Wednesday at this little cafe near her house. It's been our tradition since college. I figured this would be the perfect setting for a gentle but firm conversation. I carefully explained that while I loved her and valued our relationship, I needed the birth to be just Carter and me. I suggested alternatives like FaceTiming right after delivery and promised she could be the first visitor. I even offered to let her help decorate the nursery and be part of other special pregnancy moments. At first, she seemed to understand. She hugged me and said she got it, even though she looked disappointed. But things changed dramatically after that day. Erica stopped coming to our weekly coffee meets. My texts went unanswered, and my calls went straight to voicemail. The only person she would talk to was Carter. Whenever I asked him about her, he would just shrug and say she needed time to process things. This went on for about 3 weeks. Then I went into labor at 39 weeks. Everything was going according to plan. Carter and I got to the hospital, got settled in our room, and I was focusing on breathing through contractions. About 2 hours in, when I was really starting to feel the pain, I heard the door open. Through my contraction haze, I saw Erica walk in. I was confused and in too much pain to say anything, but I remember looking at Carter questioningly. He just shrugged and said she wanted to be supportive. What happened next was chaos. According to Jenny, the nurse who later filled me in, Erica lasted about 10 minutes in the room. When my contractions intensified and I started vocalizing more, she completely freaked out. She ran out of the room crying and had a massive panic attack in the hallway. The medical staff had to help her, and Ben had to leave work to come get her. Jenny said they almost had to call an ambulance because Erica's panic attack was so severe. Now, here's where things get even worse. Instead of people understanding why I didn't want her there in the first place, everyone is blaming me. My mother-in-law called yesterday saying I should have better prepared Erica for what she would see. She said I knew about Erica's anxiety issues and should have been more sensitive. Carter's aunts are posting passive-aggressive comments on Facebook about how some people only think about themselves during important family moments. Even Ben, who's usually really level-headed, sent me a message saying Erica hasn't slept properly since that day and keeps having flashbacks of what she saw. The person I'm most angry with is Carter. After things calmed down and we got home with our son, he admitted he told Erica she could come in because he thought it would help her anxiety about her own upcoming birth. He went completely behind my back and ignored my wishes during one of the most vulnerable moments of my life. When I confronted him about it, he had the audacity to say I was being selfish and that Erica is family. He said since she was so scared about her own delivery, seeing a normal birth would have helped her. I'm trying to recover from giving birth while dealing with all this family drama. Our son is perfect and healthy, but instead of enjoying these precious first days with him, I'm stressed about the situation with Erica. Carter keeps saying I should apologize to Erica for not warning her better about what childbirth would be like, but I don't think I did anything wrong. In fact, I tried to prevent exactly this situation by saying no in the first place. Now Erica is telling everyone that I traumatized her and ruined her pregnancy experience. She's claiming her anxiety about giving birth is worse than ever, and it's all my fault. Ben says she's considering a scheduled C-section because she's too scared to give birth naturally now. I feel like I'm in some weird alternate reality. Wasn't I the one who tried to prevent this exact situation by saying no in the first place? I'm exhausted and emotional. I should be focusing on my newborn son and recovery, but instead, I'm getting blamed for something I explicitly tried to prevent. Carter is sleeping in the guest room because we keep fighting about this. His family is treating me like I'm some kind of monster who traumatized poor, innocent Erica. I don't know how to fix this situation, or if I even want to try at this point. Update 2. It's been 2 weeks since my last update, and the situation has gotten even worse. No one in Carter's family is talking to me except for his cousin Amy, who thinks this whole thing is ridiculous. Even my mother-in-law, who used to call me every day to check on the baby, has stopped calling. The entire family seems to blame me for Erica's declining mental state. According to Amy, Erica hasn't left her house since the incident. She keeps having nightmares about childbirth and has been telling everyone that I deliberately traumatized her. She's apparently been crying to my mother-in-law about how she can't even look at pregnancy-related things anymore without having a panic attack. Ben is at his wit's end trying to help her cope. Yesterday, things came to a head when Carter and I had a massive fight. I was exhausted from being up all night with the baby, and he chose that moment to bring up how his mom thinks I should reach out to Erica. I told him he needed to fix this mess since he was the one who let Erica into the delivery room against my explicit wishes. His response completely shocked me. Carter said I was being dramatic and that I should be more understanding of his sister's situation. He went on about how Erica has always been sensitive and how I knew about her anxiety issues. Then he suggested that I should apologize to everyone for not being more accommodating during the birth. According to him, if I had just been more welcoming and prepared Erica better, none of this would have happened. That was my breaking point. I reminded him how he betrayed my trust during one of the most vulnerable moments of my life. I asked him how he would feel if I had invited his entire family to watch him get a prostate exam. He got angry and said it wasn't the same thing. Then he dropped the bomb. He said he never should have listened to my wishes about the delivery room in the first place because families should support each other. I couldn't believe what I was hearing. The man who promised to always have my back was essentially saying my comfort and privacy during childbirth didn't matter. Without thinking twice, I packed a bag, grabbed the baby's essentials, and drove to my dad's house. Carter has been calling and texting nonstop, saying I'm overreacting and that we need to work this out as a family. My dad has been incredibly supportive. He said Carter choosing his sister's comfort over his wife's dignity during childbirth was unforgivable. He thinks Carter has shown his true colors, that when push comes to shove, his sister's feelings will always matter more than mine. I called my lawyer this morning. I don't know if this marriage can be saved, and honestly, I'm not sure I want to save it. A husband who can't respect his wife's boundaries during childbirth and then blames her for his sister's mental health issues isn't someone I want to spend my life with. Ben called me earlier today. He tried to guilt-trip me by saying Erica is considering terminating her pregnancy because she's too scared to give birth now. While I feel sympathy for her situation, I can't help but think this entire mess could have been avoided if Carter had just respected my wishes in the first place. I'm staying at my dad's for now. Carter keeps trying to convince me to come home, saying I'm overreacting and that family should stick together. He even sent his cousin Amy to talk to me, but she ended up agreeing that Carter was wrong. This whole situation has shown me that my husband doesn't respect my boundaries and will always prioritize his sister's feelings over mine. The most frustrating part is that everyone seems to have forgotten that I just gave birth. Instead of being able to bond with my newborn and recover, I'm dealing with family drama and a possible divorce. But maybe this was the wake-up call I needed to see who Carter really is. Update 3. It's been 3 months since my last update, and a lot has changed. After much thought and several failed attempts at reconciliation, I finally filed for divorce. After staying at my dad's for a month, I tried to have one final conversation with Carter about everything. I thought maybe time had given him some perspective. I was wrong. He still insisted I was being unreasonable and that I should have been more understanding about Erica's anxiety. When I brought up how he betrayed my trust, he said I was being dramatic and that divorcing him over this was extreme and selfish. That conversation just confirmed I was making the right decision. As for Erica, she decided to keep her baby but requested a scheduled C-section. Amy told me she's seeing a therapist now who specializes in pregnancy-related anxiety. She's still not talking to me, which is fine. Ben reached out last week to say she's doing better with therapy, but honestly, I'm past the point of caring. The way she and Carter's family treated me during what should have been a joyful time with my newborn showed me who they really are. Carter is now telling everyone that I'm using this situation as an excuse to leave him. He claims there were other issues in our marriage and I'm just using the delivery room incident to paint him as the bad guy. He's been saying I'm heartless for not understanding his sister's mental health struggles. My dad told me Carter's family is painting me as the villain who destroyed their family over something trivial. I've blocked most of them on social media because I'm tired of their drama. The divorce proceedings are moving forward, though not smoothly. Carter tried to fight for primary custody, claiming I'm unstable for leaving him over a simple misunderstanding. He even tried to use my lack of empathy for Erica as evidence that I'm not thinking clearly. Thankfully, my lawyer is excellent, and we're working on establishing a fair custody arrangement. My son is now 3 months old and thriving, which is all that matters to me. My dad continues to be my biggest support. He helped me find a small apartment near his house, and he watches the baby when I need to meet with my lawyer or just need a break. It's not the life I imagined having 3 months ago, but it's peaceful. No more walking on eggshells, no more feeling like my feelings don't matter. Sometimes, usually late at night when the baby is crying and I'm exhausted, I wonder if I made the right choice. But then I remember how Carter betrayed my trust during one of the most vulnerable moments of my life, and I know I did. A marriage can't survive without trust and respect, and Carter showed me he had neither for me. I'm focusing on building a new life for myself and my son. I've returned to work part-time, found a great daycare, and am slowly adjusting to single motherhood. I know the road ahead won't be easy, but it's better than staying in a marriage where my boundaries don't matter and my husband will always put his sister's feelings before mine. To those who supported me through this journey, thank you. Your comments helped me realize I wasn't crazy for feeling betrayed and hurt. Sometimes standing up for yourself means walking away, and that's exactly what I'm doing.